There are moments in history when a single idea changes everything. Moments when the world shifts, not through war, not through power, but through thought. This is the story of a man who redefined reality itself, Albert Einstein. A name that became synonymous with genius, but behind that name was a mind that refused to accept limits. A different kind of child. He wasn't what you would expect. He didn't speak early, he didn't stand out in school, he didn't impress his teachers. In fact, many believed he would never achieve anything extraordinary. He was quiet, withdrawn, lost in his own thoughts. But inside that silence, something powerful was growing. A question, a need to understand not just how the world works, but why. At the age of 5, he was given a compass, a simple object, a small needle moving without touch. But to Einstein, it was a mystery. Something invisible guiding something visible. That moment changed him, because for the first time he realized there are forces in this universe that we cannot see, but they control everything. School didn't nurture his curiosity, it tried to control it. Rigid rules, memorization, obedience. Einstein rejected all of it. He didn't want to repeat answers, he wanted to understand them. He questioned authority, he challenged teachers. And for that, he was labeled difficult. At one point, a teacher told him, "You will never amount to anything." But Einstein wasn't failing, he was thinking differently. While others followed structure, he explored ideas. While others memorized, he imagined. After graduating, Einstein couldn't find a job in academia. No position, no recognition, no future. At least, not the kind he had hoped for. So, he took a job at a patent office, reviewing inventions, reading technical documents, routine work, ordinary work. But what looked like a setback became his greatest advantage, because the patent office gave him something rare: time. Time to think, time to question, time to imagine. And in that quiet office, Einstein began to reshape the universe. He asked himself something no one else had asked in quite the same way. What would happen if you could travel alongside a beam of light? It sounds simple, but that question would break centuries of scientific belief. Because at the time, scientists believed time was fixed, space was absolute, the universe was predictable. Einstein saw something else, something deeper, something flexible. Then came 1905, a year that would change science forever. In just a few months, Einstein published 4 papers, each one revolutionary. He proved that atoms were real. He showed that light behaves in unexpected ways. And then, he introduced an idea that would redefine reality: the theory of relativity. Relativity wasn't just a theory, it was a new way of seeing the universe. Einstein showed that time is not constant. It can slow down, it can speed up, depending on motion, depending on gravity. Time is relative. He showed that space is not empty. It bends, it curves, mass changes it. Gravity is not just a force, it's the shape of space itself. And then came the equation, E equals mc squared. A simple expression with unimaginable consequences. It revealed that mass is energy, that everything around us is a form of stored power. Almost overnight, Einstein went from an unknown patent clerk to the most famous scientist in the world. His face became recognizable. His name became legendary, but fame didn't change him. He remained the same curious mind. Messy hair, simple clothes, lost in thought. Because for Einstein, the goal was never recognition, it was understanding. But his discoveries had consequences. E equals mc squared was not just theory. It would become the foundation of nuclear energy and eventually nuclear weapons. Einstein understood the danger. He warned the world. He spoke about responsibility, because knowledge without wisdom can destroy everything. In 1933, Germany changed. The Nazi regime rose to power, and Einstein, as a Jewish scientist, was no longer safe. He left his country, left behind his home, his identity, his past, and started again, in America, at Princeton. A new life, but the same mission: to understand the universe. Even at the height of his success, Einstein was not satisfied. He continued searching for a deeper truth, a unified theory, something that could explain everything. One single framework for the entire universe. He worked on it for years, but he never completed it, because some questions are bigger than a lifetime. Beyond the science, Einstein was human. He laughed, he played the violin, he valued simplicity. He spoke about peace, about humanity, about responsibility. He believed that imagination was more powerful than knowledge, because knowledge is limited, but imagination has no boundaries. Albert Einstein didn't just change physics, he changed how we think. He showed that questioning the obvious leads to discovery, that curiosity is the beginning of everything, that one idea can reshape the world. Today, his theories are still used in technology, in space exploration, in our understanding of reality itself. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge," and perhaps that is his greatest lesson. Not the equations, not the theories, but the courage to think differently, to question everything, to imagine what others cannot. Because in the end, Albert Einstein did not just discover the universe, he changed how we see it forever.